Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ellis Nordhoff, and today I'm here for a preview of Everton versus Bournemouth in the FA Cup 4th round. It's at Goodison. It's the final FA Cup campaign at Goodison Park. Hopefully it's not the final game in the FA Cup at Goodison Park. A massive test, but the way Everton have been playing at the moment, maybe, just maybe, we can go and do it. Let's get straight into it. Bournemouth, obviously a great side, doing amazingly this year under Andoni Iraola, beating teams left, right and centre, beating very good sides as well, getting results against managers like Pep, like Arteta, like Postecoglou. They're just delivering results, aren't they? And they're a team that we definitely should be worried about, but a team that we could beat, because at the end of the day, they are Bournemouth, aren't they? We have to remember who we are. We're Everton, and we need to go and win another trophy, so hopefully we can do that. It's the FA Cup, and there's a sort of magic about it, isn't there? And especially it's now the last season at Goodison. I'm really feeling it for this game. I'm desperate for us to just have a massive game at Goodison. Go and beat Bournemouth, get yourself into the 5th round, and start feeling like if you can beat Bournemouth, you can beat anyone. Why can't we have that run going into the final season at Goodison? Why can't we have an amazing cup run? And maybe even get that final game at Goodison moved because we're in the FA Cup final. I'd take that. I'm sure you lot would take that as well, wouldn't you? In terms of the team, I think we'll see pretty similar. We're very stretched at the moment, of course. Players injured, Calvert-Lewin injured, Mangala now out for the season. We probably won't see him in an Everton shirt again. Really disappointing. So we are stretched for options, and the January window did close this week, and we saw just one addition, which wasn't exactly what I wanted. We could have done with a few more for certain, but Carlos Alcaraz has come in, who I am pleased about. Midfielder, exciting, South American. He's got that kind of South American passion and bite that I'm sure we'll all look forward to, and hopefully he can get on in this game. Maybe he'll play from the bench and come on perhaps, but another option is good to have. And then Beto, I think, will start up front. Played extremely well against Leicester, so while previously I might have had a bit less confidence in him starting up front, I'm pretty happy he's starting up front for this one. And we all absolutely love him, don't we? We want him to do well. We know he's not the most talented of footballers, but he definitely does a job for us. And look what happens. Moyes tells the players to play through balls to him, play it in front of him. What happens? He scores goals. That's the service that Beto requires. Through balls to run onto, rather than just pinging it up to his chest and expecting him to deal with it that way. That's not his game. So if we start playing to his strengths, I think we'll see the best of him as well, which that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Jesper Lindstrom, I think, has pretty much cemented his place in the side now over Jack Harrison. He's offered way more already since Moyes has got in. He's already looking like a better player, and he's just waiting on that goal. And when it comes, it'll be massive for him, I think. He's not scored in maybe near 70 team games now over Everton and also his previous club, and he just needs it, doesn't he? Get that one goal and just give him the confidence to then go and push on. And Iliman and Dye as well, on absolutely brilliant form at the moment. Got his goal at the end against Leicester, which he thoroughly deserved, and he will provide us that threat. Very similar to what the Bournemouth players provide, but we've only really got one of them kind of creative, unpredictable players, so we'll be relying on Iliman in this game to try and get us through. In terms of Bournemouth, though, they have got a few more skillful players that we need to be worried about. Obviously, Dango Atara's doing very well at the moment. Justin Kluivert's on fire, banging them in, takes penalties, but he's also been scoring a lot recently. Did get a hat-trick too recently, so he's definitely one to be concerned about. And Antoine Semenyo, I really like him as a player. I think he's very talented, and the fact that you have to worry about all three of them in one game just shows the talent that Bournemouth have now. I think they've got players way beyond the size of their club now. No disrespect to them, but I think they'll probably get poached in the summer. I imagine that Bournemouth squad might well get dismantled, and they might even lose their manager. But overall, really, it's credit to them for doing so well. We remember Andoni Iraola when he first came to Goodison, and he was so naive, and Everton just pressed high and swept them aside, whereas now he's a bit more direct, plays when he needs to, and also goes long when he needs to, and he's got a team now that are very much pushing for Europe. But thankfully, in the FA Cup, form doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they're doing better than us. It doesn't matter that they're in a position where they're flying, and league table-wise, we're not flying. We have won 3 out of our last 4 games, though. So who's to say we can't go and do it as well? So it should be an interesting game. I think Everton are going to go at Bournemouth because that's the way Moyes has been going at since we started. I don't think we'll retreat too much, but we just have to be a bit more wary to make sure that when they hit us on the break, we are ready, because these will have a lot more of a threat than Leicester had in the last game. I think when you're playing a team like Leicester who really didn't offer anything on the break, you can afford to just stand that extra yard further forward, maybe 10 yards further forward. You can just be a bit more, I suppose, dominating in the game. You can really impose yourself a bit, whereas against Bournemouth you do just need to keep your head and make sure that we don't open up the space for them, because they will exploit that space, and Iraola knows how to do it. He's a top manager, and these are going to give us a tough game, but we have to remember what we're here for. It's Goodison Park. It might be the last FA Cup game at Goodison Park, and why not make sure that that isn't the case? That's what I'd be thinking. If I was talking to them players on Saturday, I'd be saying, make sure this isn't the last FA Cup game at Goodison Park, because it doesn't have to be. And if it isn't, and you get into the 5th round, you're closing in then. You have to win 2 more games and you're at Wembley. And how much do Everton fans deserve that? How much do Everton fans deserve a trip to Wembley to go and see the Blues under David Moyes? It'd just be poetic, wouldn't it? I think that's what we need. It's what we deserve as well. We've done great recently. I've got belief in the team. Bournemouth beat Forest 5-0, so obviously they're flying, but then they lost to Liverpool, so maybe that's just dented the confidence a slight bit. I'm trying to find the positives, because we've been playing well recently. There's every chance that we can beat this Bournemouth side, isn't there? Yes, they're a good team, but on our day, I think we can do it. We've got to be hopeful, haven't we? We've got to be. It's a chance to get into it. An FA Cup 5th round, you get a good draw there, and you're in the quarter-final, and it soon comes round, doesn't it, Blues? And we know it from all these years when we've had our cup runs. I've not been to Wembley since 2012 now, and it's just way too long. We need to be there. You look at Newcastle this week, getting into a cup final. We're a bigger club than Newcastle. We can do that as well. Give us a few years, or maybe even this year. Let's go and get a trophy. That's what I want to happen, and it's just nice that we can have these 3 wins, and we can have a bit of a break from the league. Go and play this cup game. Some will say it's a free hit. I wouldn't say it's a free hit, because I want us to get through in the cup. But the pressure is off, isn't it? You don't have to worry about where you are in the league. It's purely one game, try and get through it. And I think that on our day, we absolutely can. And then what have we got coming after that? Back in the league, and it's the Merseyside derby. I've said to quite a few people, I would take it if we lost the 3 games after them 2, if it just meant that we'd beat Bournemouth and Liverpool. They're huge, huge games in our season, aren't they? To go and beat Bournemouth, get yourself in the 5th round, and then to go and win the derby. That is the absolute dream, isn't it? And that is what I'm hoping that I'm going to be talking about in a couple of weeks' time, because just imagine, Blues. I'm dreaming already. We're already getting the FA Cup fever. We love the FA Cup, and we're playing a Premier League side, so probably I imagine there'll be that league game style atmosphere as well, and we're going to be bang up for it, and I think we're going to do it. So I'll go to prediction now. We are going to do it, you know. I'm convinced. We've got to have hope, haven't we? We've got to have hope. I'm going to say 2-1. They are going to score. You look at the talent that they've got in that team. Justin Kluivert, what a player. Got Evan Nilsson, Dango Atara, Antoine Semenyo. One of them's going to put it in the net, aren't they? But Everton are going to score more than them, so we don't have to worry. We do not have to worry. Beto's going to be back firing again, and Iliman and Dye as well. And we're going to see Carlos Alcaraz come on. Hopefully just inject that just refreshing feeling that you get from a new player being in the team. I think it's about 8 games he has to play before it's made permanent, so he's as good as a permanent signing, really. So, Carlos, if you're listening, come on and make sure you go and score for us. That'd be alright, wouldn't it? But I do hope you've enjoyed the preview today. Fingers crossed we can go and get that victory, cement our place in the next round of the FA Cup, and just build on this amazing start under David Moyes, because I don't know about you, but I feel way better about being an Everton fan right now. I'm enjoying going the game. I'm enjoying watching us. The shackles have come off, and we're playing with a bit more freedom. We're playing offensively. We're not sitting back and trying to nick games. We're actually going and trying to win them. And hopefully we can go and try and win this one against Bournemouth. But I do hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think the score's going to be, what you do with the team, and can you think however well we're playing, can we beat this Bournemouth team who are doing extremely well? Let me know. But I do hope you've enjoyed. Speak to you next time. See you in a bit.